Moths carry numerous symbolic meanings, including the night, transformation, and death. Because they are drawn to light, they can also represent enlightenment and the pursuit of knowledge. Today's books, House of Ghosts by Eliana Pérez and Erebid Materia by Michelle Miller, bring together tactile pages, poetry, and moths to give us insights into how we see ourselves and our places in the world. Eliana Pérez is a multidisciplinary artist based in New York City. Her works frequently address issues of poverty, violence, and environmental degradation in her home country of Colombia, as well as more general explorations of creation and loss. Her tactile books incorporate elements of fine handwork that elevate the page beyond a mere substrate. House of Ghosts explores our attempts to make a comfortable and safe domestic space as a bulwark against the stress and fear of the brutal realities and violence of the world. Pérez brings her art and design together with a poem by Marshall Weber. The meticulously detailed illustrations, set in a vast white space, are unsettling. As the narrator questions their place in their father's house, I do not feel comfortable or welcome here. This book is large, and the trimmed corners suggest a roofline, enhancing the impression that with each page turn, we move to another room. My unease remains as I notice the bird of prey on this pillow, looking down at the zebra rug below. The tranquility of soft and luxurious furnishings is transformed into something more violent, a relationship of predator and prey. Each page has an important element in addition to the printed text and images. Subtle and easily overlooked, pinpricks in the paper create images of moths. In Pérez's native Colombia, a moth in the house can be a harbinger of death in the family. The outlines of these moths are poked from the front of the paper, and the interior of the wings are pierced from the backside. This creates a surface that our fingers can feel, bridging the world inside these pages with the world I, as the reader, inhabit. The poem continues, now asking, have I become a ghost in my mother's house? The lettering of the new stanza fades in and out, echoing the questions of existing and disappearing. The images on this spread deviate from the interior furnishings and decorations of the rest of the book. The handkerchief and gauzy dress are both made of fabric and worn or held close to the body. Many moths crawl and fly around these illustrations. They circle the child's dress, creating a foreboding atmosphere of loss. The narrator turns their attention to their own house. It might be expected to feel like a stranger in your parents' homes after moving out, but it is much more disturbing to no longer find security or be visible in one's own home. As the narrator questions what intangible remnants they leave behind, the word furtive moves like an arrow, aimed from the archer's bow to the dogs or wolves above. Asian miniatures, like this archer set atop the table, influenced Pérez's illustrations. She said to me, even within the comfort and security of our own homes, we can't escape the threats of the world. The miniatures, along with the other decorative elements, represent the futile ways that we try to distract ourselves with comforting elements or coping mechanisms in our lives. Unlike the vases and figurines we've seen so far, this decoration or trophy is the body of a living creature. These antlers, fallen off and crammed into an obviously undersized compartment of the side table, underscore the separation of the narrator from themselves. Back to soft furnishings, a goat-like creature runs from an unknown danger, unwittingly headed straight toward the mouth of the dragon. Sometimes the moths are so hidden that I didn't locate them until the second or third time I read the book. The moth here is barely visible amidst the draped fabric. When I see it, I realize this small creature has the power to destroy this curtain, overpowering even this large beast. The poem shifts, and the narrator begins returning from the desert infinity they were lost in. The moths, however, are still here. When I asked Pérez about how she approaches directly manipulating the pages of her books, she said, "I like to think of books as having multiple layers or parallel dimensions. I try to find ways to stack these dimensions on or inside the page. Pinpricks are a good example. They are almost invisible, but if you hold them up to the light, they glow and jump out more than anything else on the page." The final illustration echoes the narrator's action of covering their family with the folds of their skin. The fabric draped on this chair brings to mind a protective covering, as well as the tradition in some cultures of covering mirrors or furniture while in mourning. Once again, the quiet of this domestic space is interrupted by the fierce lion on this luxurious cloth and the tiny moth hidden in the folds of the fabric. When I finish reading, I turn to the back side of the accordion. All we see are the pinprick moths across the white paper. Page after page, they are all that remains. Based in Florida, Michelle Miller is an interdisciplinary artist and writer. She creates drawings, artist books, and installations that distill ephemeral experiences into evocative objects. Her work regularly features geometric abstraction, organic forms, and layered textures that meditate on presence and impermanence. Erebid Materia brings together two of Miller's poems, both based on real experiences. The Dos-a-Dos book manifests her caregiving, grief, and the healing power of wonder. The word Erebid refers to the Erebidae family of moths. The muted gray and cream tones of Erebid Materia suggest the nocturnal spaces that moths inhabit. The imagery on the first spread makes me think of concrete things like the moon and a darkened landscape, as well as ephemeral or less tangible things like rhythms or cycles and mysterious energy. The handmade paper pages are all formed to different shapes, evocative of moth wings and bodies. As I progress through the book, I notice reversals in positive and negative space. Light and dark switches between the front and back sides of each page. Miller conceived of Erebid Materia as an elegy to her father. Her grief brought forth strange dreams and retrieved forgotten memories of both her father and moths. The poem in the center spread begins with Asclapha aurorata, the Latin name of the black witch moth, one of the largest moths found in the US, and a symbol of death in many cultures. Miller's poem recalls a memory near the end of her father's life. He spotted the typically nocturnal moth out of place amidst the clear, radioactive sunlight that scorched everything. Her words vividly illustrate the contrast between darkness and light. The shape of these smallest interior pages directly echoes the shape of the black witch moth wings. The patterning from these moths' wings are also embedded into the abstract imagery on Miller's papers. Miller created Erebid Materia at Women's Studio Workshop. All of the paper is handmade, and the images were created with a combination of pulp painting and screen print. The layers, textures, and shapes evoke time, light, and energy. Both the imagery and the pages themselves merge cosmic and nano scales, from the moon to a moth to a wave of energy. Just as we saw symmetry across the Erebid side of the book, the Materia side reflects the same page shapes and similar patterns. This side, however, is notably lighter in color and tone, with more light cream than dark gray. In contrast to the nightscape of the other side of the book, here we move through a brighter or daylit space. The dots and wavy lines vibrate with an enigmatic yet comforting energy. Miller's poem describes a dream she had that begins with a small moment, eating a dead moth, and expands toward the sublime interconnection of all things. Miller explained to me that the dream came to her in the depth of her caregiving journey. She said, "That dream was really like a lightning of feelings at that point, when everything was dark and heavy, when it was hard to see the light in the future." As I turn the final pages of the book, I can trace the wonder that Miller referred to in her poem. I recognize grief in these images, but also the warmth of caregiving and healing. The shaped pages allow me to see portions of nearly every other page, once again reflecting the interconnectedness of all the elements Miller has brought together. The fluttering sculptural form of Erebid Materia, united with Miller's poems and imagery, bring us close to her sublime experience of transcendence. House of Ghosts and Erebid Materia embed moths directly into the pages of the book. Incorporating the many ideas that moths can symbolize, both books offer us insights into the ways we navigate, protect, and open ourselves to profound human experiences.